Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sara Lihz and I have the most adorable light up birthday card for you today. This hedgehog is so chubby and so cute that I had to make sure to leave a place to replace the battery if I need to later. We just have a couple supplies for this card. I have the Hedgehog mini album from ScrapDiva Designs, and they have a coupon code where you can save 10% off that I'll leave in the description box below for you. Then I have the big birthday charms from Burniston. We're going to use the cake and the fork and the plate that it sits on. And then finally, we're going to use a one light. I thought originally I was going to use the one in the halo light that's a little longer, but in the end, I'm going to change my mind later and just use the regular standard one light. So I wanted to make sure I was coming around the edges of these craft pieces of cardstock. It's the body, the feet, the hands, and like his little muzzle. There's just a lot of brown on brown, and so going around it with a little bit of ink helps those pieces to stand out when we start layering them on top of each other. I am notorious for choosing an ink that's a little bit too light, and it will look plenty dark when I ink it on there, but then once it dries, it sort of dries back and lightens a little bit. So I chose one that's maybe a touch darker than I need. I just tap off my brush a bunch of times on my glass board to pull some of that ink off of my brush. And then for the most part, instead of going back into the ink pad, I just go to my glass mat to grab more ink, and that lets me have more control. The brushes also help. These are super soft, fluffy brushes, especially the little ones. They're called the Shading Sidekicks from Trinity, and they really help me to get in there with a light hand. To put this together, I have sort of the outline of the body that's that darker brown. And then there are two layers bigger than this for the mini album. I'm just going to use one of them today. And so I have all of my glue around the edges, and I'm just going to line it up so I get a little even white border. This is actually a white shimmer cardstock just for like a little extra something. I like my wet glue for this just because it helps me to kind of wiggle it into place. Make sure that border is really even. Then this piece will nest right inside of it. It's actually a single die that cuts out the dark brown, and then this craft piece as well. When I go to cut my next pieces or to layer on my next pieces, I've played with a bunch of different sort of orientations. And if you look at their website, they've got a couple samples where the body and the hands and things are laid out differently. But I liked the feet kind of out to the sides like it's this chubby little baby. And then here is the muzzle, and there is debossed detail to create the mouth. So I just stuck my black pen in there, and it sort of draws the line and keeps that curve really nice for me. And then there's two eyes. There's a tiny little dot you can cut out if you want to create that highlight with a die cut, but I thought the pen was easier. So a couple little dots on each eye, and then a little shine mark on the tip of the nose. When I go to assemble this charm, these are designed so you can use them with a bunch of Burniston's pop-ups, but she shows regularly that you just trim off that little piece, the charm holder at the top, and that's what I've done here because we don't need the charm, we just need some cake. Raise your hand if your favorite cake is white cake with white frosting. I know that chocolate is supposed to be the thing, but it's not for me. This is it. I thought about making it funfetti, but really, I don't even want funfetti in my cake. So this is like my birthday cake. I feel like this hedgehog and I are probably related. I'm going to add the little ears on. I added on the center to the bow. I darkened up the middle of the bow just a little bit, again, to create that contrast. In person, you don't necessarily need the inking. You can see it really well. On camera, however, when I put the same colored cardstock layered on top of itself, I feel like it kind of gets a little bit lost. So I just think this is like a nice way to step it up a little bit. I'm using my glue press today. I haven't reached for it in the past. I've had it for, I don't know, half a year, but it never seemed necessary. But then I ended up with a bunch of tendonitis in my hand. And my friends, can I tell you, it has been game changing, right? I don't have as much dexterity or strength in my right hand as I used to, and it gets around that. But more than that, some of the places where I need to add a whole bunch of glue, it's a lot easier now because of the glue press. So I'll kind of point that out to you as we go along. I have my little candle here. It's just a single die. And so I'm using a marker to color in sort of the base of the candle and then a little black pen to color in the wick because it's on fire, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and add that right on top of my piece of cake because I have to figure out the placement for my light. The biggest challenge on this card was figuring out where to put the cake so that the hands looked okay, but also that it wasn't over top of too many layers of cardstock. I want it over the body and not over the muzzle. So I'm going to get my placement, and then I just traced right around the flame so I would know where the hole needs to go. I have one layer of 100-pound cardstock and one layer of 65-pound cardstock here. And so I need a hole or you're not going to see that light at all. So I start with my pokey tool. I had a little piece of foam behind there, and then I just stick my tweezers in, and I want that hole as big as I can make it, but still covered up by the candle. So I just keep checking it and going slowly because I don't want to start over. I like the muzzle like a little bit at an angle, like he's smirking, she's smirking a little bit, and then we can add our light. So again, I thought I was going to use the one light that comes in the Halo Light combo pack. So I have it over the top of the flame, and I'm just going to keep rotating it and playing with it. I want to write a note that says press the hand or press the foot or press the cake, and in all of the directions it was just not the right size. So instead, I'm just grabbing the regular one light, which you can see is a little bit shorter. The button is closer to the flame. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm adding a little bit of like a Post-it tape, it's mint tape, over the top. And I'm going to press that down onto my card and check and make sure the light is shining right through that hole. Then I'm going to add a bigger piece of tape on the back, and I'll layer another layer of cardstock on top that I've cut into the exact same shape as the front of our card. That way I know that my light is going to be perfectly lined up when I go to add it onto this sort of back panel of my card front. I'm tracing around the outside edge because I need to remove the light so I can run this through my die cutting machine. This is the Press Stamp and Die bundle from Pear Blossom Press, and this largest rectangular die is designed to do exactly what I was talking about. We're going to create a little escape hatch. It is big enough that the entire one light will fit on this flap. So I am just going to line this up right over top of where I traced around our light and our battery. And then once I run that through, it's only going to cut on 3 sides, and a score line is created on the 4th. So now I have this flap, and when I need to, and I open that flap, the entire light will come with it. So it's super easy to take the battery in and out. I've added some double-sided tape onto the back of my light, and because I traced around it and I went all the way around it, I know exactly where it needs to go. All the same, I like to test things over and over again. So I'm going to bring in the card front, line it up, press the button, the light is where it needs to be. Now I can go ahead and start assembling all of the final pieces. We are so close to being done with this card, you guys. It came together really, really quickly. When I add my cake and candle onto my card, I'm going to add glue everywhere except behind the flame because that would just push a bunch of glue back through that hole. You can use something like a glossy accents or Spellbinders glaze and glue behind there just to make it a little sturdier, but it will still keep it clear. Just let it dry before you go ahead and add it onto your card. I thought about having both hands hold the cake, but this die set has the most adorable little fork in it, and I had to use it. Like it just, it's so cute. So I'm going to add glue all over behind there on the tines too, but then I'll tap it off on the back of my hand to make sure that glue doesn't ooze out, and then my silver cardstock isn't quite as shiny. I now have my 2 pieces completely assembled, so I'm going to go ahead and add some 3mm foam to the back panel. I'm going all the way around that trap door that we created, and then I'll remove both sides of the release paper for some more of that foam and just curl it around the outside edges. You can get away with a 2mm foam, which is sort of your standard foam depth, but 3mm just gives me a little more wiggle room, keeps it from being accidentally pressed, like as I'm sort of transporting it from one place to the other. Of course, if you have the world's best foam tape, that would be top pick, but I am all out. So I went to add glue on top of my foam to make sure I can really wiggle this into perfect placement. And can I tell you, I only had to pull the trigger on the glue press once to cover all of that. And normally I feel like that takes me forever. So I was really, really pleased with that. And then that glue lets the top layer kind of float for a minute before I really press it down to make sure that all the edges are lined up nicely. I'm going to put some removable tape just on the inside where the battery meets the front of the card, and that will hold my trap door closed. And then I'm going to score about 1/2 inch from the top of one more panel of cardstock that I've cut using that same die. I'll fold that flat back and add some glue. Then I like to line up all the bottom pieces first and then press the glue flap to the top just to make sure that everything is lined up the way that I want it to. And then that finishes up our card. My friends, here is our adorable chubby hedgehog. You press the cake and it lights up, and I will just leave a note on the inside that says press the cake. And then you can see it opens here beautifully. I've got my little flap so I can replace the battery later. You guys, I hope this inspires you. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.